Swoop Racing is on the PTS, so we're going to take a test drive tonight. We'll cover that and more on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 339. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
Hey, Max. Well, let's see. It's going pretty well. Um, although I hear music.
Yes, you do. You usually don't hear it because my it always plays behind you, but my audio sort of cut it off in the past. So you just talk
I
over it.
see.
This is how our
Oh,
intro goes. Yeah. Fancy.
this is the way. Okay. So,
This is the way.
right. So I'll just say I've been leveling an operative and a scoundrel, and they're kind of neck and neck, but my scoundrel has her ship, but my operative is still working her way through the class story on Dromikaz. But with my scoundrel, when I got the ship, I went through some, wow, that is really distracting. I went and did some old school space missions on her. That was like, I even went on my cybertech and made her a bunch of way overpowered ship gear because she was like level 32 or whatever, so she could get into at least the lower tier of the blue stuff that the cybertechs can make.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just like a fun little jaunt down memory lane.
Sorry, I blanked out there for a second. The ship gear, because you wanted to run the ship mission. So having that ship gear is really important once you get to the higher level ship missions.
Yeah.
But having any at all, yeah, that's kind of fun. And I always remember making it on my old characters back in the day. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. And you would make it, but then you couldn't equip it because you could like one piece of 32 and one piece of 34 and level it because it goes by the level of your character.
Yeah.
And so I could equip like 2 or 3 right away because by the time I got finished with Coruscant, she was 32 or whatever. So yeah, so now she's got a ship, so she's not a character without a ship. Although I did come across like a level 55 character of some sort that didn't have, no, it was a level 75 character that didn't have a ship. That clearly must have been somebody from DVL. But anyway, yes, so I've been doing that. MFN this week, we had like a rampagey, lovely night because we thought about going and doing an ops. We were going to, but then we had like an odd number of people, so we went and did rampaging instead, which is new for us, a new way of doing it since it's such a quick little bite
Right.
to get rampage done on each planet.
What is it? 25 and then 75?
Yeah, so it's
That's so
it's like
fast.
100 altogether. Yeah, it's super fast. So if you go through 3 planets on a one character ish, then you hit personnel target on that character, and we hit many planets since it kind of goes so fast. But so now with what we're doing is people just log out when they get their target and log in the next character. They just join us on the next planet. They might miss one whole planet, but it's like no big loss. That way we're not constantly waiting for one person to switch or 5 people to switch or whatever. And then
Right.
it worked pretty well. And then you could come on pretty much any level, so people were leveling as well as getting conquest points. So yeah, so that's how that went on for MFN this week. And we're going to do Datacron, a Datacron call on Mega this week. Is that this week? No, it's next week.
It is right. It is a week from tomorrow. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
this
think I put the
week
wrong
is
date in
going to
there.
be. Yeah, this week we're going to do, and I'm kind of jumping ahead into guild news, but yeah, no, we're doing Master Mode flashpoints on Friday night to work towards the ice
Aerotech
Dickel
Ice.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Aerotech Ice. So yeah, that's what's some of the stuff that's going on with me in SWTOR. I feel like I've left something out, but I'm sure I'll just interrupt when
Well,
you bring it up, and it jogs my memory.
well, you did. You sort of so you sort of missed the big news. Oh, Siri, stop it. Red's dead, baby. Red's dead.
Yes.
Ops
Yes.
night. So we did
Yeah.
our ops night tonight, and veteran mode, ducks in, red's dead. So there you
Hmm.
go. There you
And
go.
it was great too because I knew the moment when he passed a certain threshold, I said, "Oh my god, this is gonna be the time." But I didn't say it out loud because
It'll
yeah,
jinx it. Yeah.
yes, yes.
But
But yeah.
it felt very progression-y to me. So we were in there. We took a couple weeks just to work out our strategy. We were finishing gearing up. We worked out where one of the tanks to position. So the tanks were working out their stuff. We were working out our stuff. We finally got to the point where, I mean, we wiped for 2 nights coming into this, 2 weeks straight of 2 hours of just wiping, trying to figure out how we wanted to do it, and then we wiped probably for an hour to kick it off tonight. We should, yeah. I know, I get it. We're pretty casual, but still, by the time we finally got it down, if it felt like progression. It felt like old school progression.
Yeah.
I know you've done actual progression before. So have I. I've done it in SWTOR back at the launch, and done it in other MMOs. You're you're supposed to wipe for a while, and you're supposed to
Yeah.
progress, and then when it finally happens, everybody cheers and jumps up and
Yeah.
down, and we're all giddy. So that was good times. That was a good
Yeah.
time. I'm
Everyone lived that time, which contributes to success
Yes,
by a lot.
right.
Um, yeah.
So that was
It was
fun. That was the highlight of my week. The other couple things that I've been doing, I continue to, for whatever reason, I am just stuck on this uh, GTN credit cycle,
oh,
and
okay.
made uh, another probably another 120 to 130 million credits in the last week, maybe 150. I have a lot of credits now, a lot. I'm
So
maybe
you're away from the edge of the cliff. You don't have to worry about getting dropping
Yes.
down into yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I'm coming up to the next marker, which is
Uh-oh.
uh tres comas x dos.
So you'll have to it's a new cliff that you'll have to
Well,
recede
maybe I
from.
should stop. I'm at about 1.75 billion right now. Maybe I should stop when it gets to 1.9, because if I get to 2, then it's going to be like a thing.
Right.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I dropped 20 million this week. What did it? Oh, last week for the podcast. I dropped 20 million to get one of the decos that did the disguise for the Wookiee, and didn't even think of anything of it. Drop 20 million, get a deco. Should I get 2 of them? Maybe
Right.
I'll just get 2. That's kind of a nice feeling. I don't want to get to 2 billion and have 2 billion credits and not be able to spend a single
Yeah,
one.
that's
That
right,
that would
because
be
you'll drop
terrible.
you down under 2,000,000,000,
So
right.
maybe I'll
I
just
get
let
it.
it bounce between like 1.9 and 1.5, and spend a couple 100 million credits on stuff, because there's stuff I
Y
could get. I want that ractal, the the cybernetic ractal mount. I think that's like 100 million on the GTN. So there's stuff I could spend it on. So we'll
yeah.
see. Did that. I put
Spend it,
some levels
spend
on
it.
my scoundrel, but not a lot. Uh, I'm limited on my scoundrel when I've been leveling it up, because I hit conquest so fast. I feel like I need to stop. Like I'm wasting the time
Well
leveling. I know you're not, but
I mean, I do stop. I do stop. When she hits Conquest, I do tend to stop, and then I'll go and do Conquest throughout the week on all the other characters that I want to do Conquest on, and then come after a few days of that, then I'll go back to her and put a few levels on it, at which point I'm not really thinking about Conquest anymore because
yeah.
it's not like old days where we had to watch the guild target. We don't have to do that really anymore because we usually make the guild target like Wednesday night.
Right, right. We don't have to watch it. I don't have to pick, be careful of which side that I'm pushing characters on, because we
Right.
make it large on both sides. Yeah, it's a little bit of a different world. So I won't talk tonight too much about the credit stuff, the credit making, but I'm doing some new and different things. I'm still mostly making augments, but I'm doing some new and different things because materials are getting really short, and Prices are fluctuating really weirdly on the GTN in some ways. So maybe next week or the week after, I'll dive into that a little bit. But I think that's enough of that kind of credit talk for now.
Okay.
So why don't we get to the news?
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
So in news, DevTracker continues to be enlightening as far as the bug watch goes. Keep track, post your bugs. We've got the new community focus on it. We continue to touch on it each week. The highlights that I saw this week that caught my eye for bug watch is kills with the returned companion Doc when you get Doc back after you lost him are not counting towards the achievements where you need to kill so many mobs with a particular companion out. You were going through and doing those. That's why this caught my eye, Seema. And I got one of these tonight on accident.
Yeah, you did
I had
for Bodar.
Bodar. Yeah, I had Bodar out on my mercenary because I was using all my other higher level companions to run missions to get materials to make augments. Said I
And I
wasn't going to
use
talk
my
about
lower
that.
ones. I use my lower ones to give gifts to make the
Right,
conquest
that
thing.
too. But I in the middle of the ops night, I saw an achievement pop up. It was let the Wookiee win, or the Wookiee you let the Wookiee win, or something like that. I was like, what is this for? So anyone who's working on Doc, you're not getting that right now. It's something to keep an eye on. But it's a thing. I forgot that it's a thing, and everybody does have those achievements out there that you can get. The only other thing I noticed, this is why this one caught my eye. Level sync is broken in Maelstrom Prison. I saw a fun thing in guild chat the other day related to Maelstrom Prison. Someone relatively new to in the guild and new to SWTOR was playing through and then like typed in Discord, they're like, OMG, is this actually Revan? In this flashpoint in Maelstrom
Yeah,
Prison. I'm like, that
that
is
was
so
good.
cool.
That was good. Yeah, it is.
So yeah, so obviously they didn't even look ahead to see like the next expansion is, or an expansion coming up is Shadow of Revan. So it's but I guess you couldn't be sure that it's actually Revan coming back. So
No,
yeah,
because it's a mysterious. Yeah, it's mysterious.
yeah. So that's fun. So someone is gonna get a fun surprise once they get to see what happens with the continuation of the Revan story in Star Wars: The Old Republic. All right, what else
Yeah.
we got in the news?
So, Dan Steed has opened up a feedback thread for the Swoop rally stuff that's currently on the PTS. So don't be shy about your feedback if you've been playing with it on the PTS, like we are going to do.
People on the forums are really shy typically. They don't tend
Well,
to post
I'm
their
speaking
thoughts.
to not only those people, but people who don't normally post on the
Yeah.
forums.
Yeah. He was as you said, he was pretty explicit about all of the kinds of questions he threw out there just
Yeah,
to
he made it easy for you to come up with feedback if you just look at his questions.
so we won't let's not go through the community feedback just yet. We'll
Right.
talk about the event first, but then
Sounds good.
we'll come back to it and try to get an idea of what the feedback is as well. I did not dig into that thread just yet and see what the community's feedback is. We did get, in fact, I've got it up here on the PTS. We also got a feedback thread that's up there on the new welcome window and what your feedback might be. That's this thing. So we're on the PTS. If you're listening, it's a new sort of pop up window that shows up in your UI. It sort of takes up some space on the screen. You can't hide it completely. You can pop it open and pop it closed, but you can't hide it completely. I don't know if they're going to add that, but it's not in the interface editor just yet. There is a feedback thread to say if you like it or not. It's what's called a welcome window, which shows what your current sort of like core mission is that you're working on. So you can think of like if in the middle of chapters or in the middle of a story, it's a story mission, the current event that's going on, and a current highlighted hot thing on the cartel market. So
Featured item.
featured item on the cartel market, is that what it is?
May
So
or may not be hot.
when I was ranting earlier about it being an ad in my face, that's not what it's called. It's not called that.
Well,
Uh,
no, it's definitely an ad in your
it's definitely
face,
an
but
ad in my face.
it's not what's necessarily hot. It's what their featured item is. So like what they
Okay.
are trying to move that week.
Okay. Well, even better. So
Right.
post your feedback as far, as far as that window goes, and
But
maybe we'll
but be
follow up on
but be
that.
polite. Yeah.
Be polite. I'm sure it's a very rational, balanced, nuanced discussion on the
You don't
forums.
have to like it. Just, you just don't have to be angry about it.
Yeah, don't make it a shit
Because
show,
I don't
as they
think
say.
people will
Wow,
like it. It
I just got
doesn't seem
disconnected.
very likable. Oh no.
Maybe if you're brand new and you haven't done and you sort of don't get the deal of how this stuff works, then maybe you know,
Maybe, but it's like, you know, but it isn't really, right? Because it's not the mission log, and it's not the conquest log, and it's not the activities log. So it's sort of, I can see it being as confusing as much as it is elucidating.
yeah. And now it's broken. Yeah, it's a weird
Plus,
stuff, and we'll see.
plus you can't remove it. It's always there. You
Can't
can't
hide
turn
it.
it off. Yeah, you can't hide it.
So
You
I
can't put it
see.
wherever you want. You can only put it in the upper 25% of your screen. It's
It,
I mean it's the test server, so this is
yeah.
probably not, hopefully not the last version of it.
So we'll see. I can
I
see
mean seriously,
they put the
it's
friends count and the guild count, how many people from your guild are logged in, and how many of your friends are logged in. They put that on the sort of like the little title bar of that welcome window. So for that reason, I could see them thinking, well, that was always on the screen before because it was part of the chat window. That should stay on the screen. But no, take that off of there, put it back where it was, make this thing hideable, and if somebody really cares, they can have it available to them.
and what's the third number? Like I have like a grayed out 0 for the third number.
Oh, I don't have a third number. Um, I don't know. You're
Yeah.
special. You get 3.
Well, I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, I hope you don't. Uh,
So
also,
anyway, yeah.
in guild and community news, we have an event coming up, as Zima mentioned, a week from tomorrow. So the Friday, the 20 something, 22nd, will be our next monthly Epic Guild activity for our guild Alea Iacta Est on Starforge server at 8 p.m. Central Time. It's open to everybody. We're going to be getting a bunch of datacrons that the majority of the people that need any datacrons happen to not have. We'll get summoned to a couple of the hard ones. We'll be chasing down some of the ones that take multiple people to do. Marcus is setting that up. Marcus, our officer from Working Class Nerds podcast, is organizing that. We'll be having fun doing trivia. We always have a lot of fun on that monthly event, in addition to our, which is sort of a special once a month thing that's not our weekly mandatory fun night. So that is cool.
And then also was mentioning this, but another officer, Mei Lung, is starting a Friday night event that's going to run most of the Fridays that are not already tagged for Mega, that are going to be master mode flashpoint runs that are in the mission to get the AirTech ice mount. So if you've been wanting to work on that and you haven't been able to find a group for it, that's what this is for.
Yep. Yep. I'm pretty sure his intent is to run once every other week. So every
Okay, that makes sense.
every other week. So not necessarily every week, but every other week in general. And keep an eye out. Certainly be posting in Discord. And yeah, getting the master mode flashpoints done to get that Aerotech mount. That's pretty cool. And then finally, in guild news, we've got Spicoli has spun up a new ops team. They're almost ready to go. It is a Monday night ops team on the Republic side. It's going to be a second ops team on the Republic side. Both of them are both running on Monday night. There's enough people to fill out 2 ops teams on Monday nights for 8 people per team. And then maybe once in a while running as a 16-person group. Spicoli still needs 1 DPS for that group. So Monday night, prime time, central-ish. I don't remember if they start at like 7:30 central or 8 central, something like that. But DPS, Republic side, come and join. It sounds like it's going to be a
Yeah.
fun team. And then, yeah, maybe some 16-person stuff when the 2 teams join up. So that is cool. And then certainly shout out to the chat room. Thank all of you for jumping in there and helping us out, helping us with math tonight, and watching as the stream crashed in the pre-show, and watching how that looks. We will catch up with all of you after. But now it is time for. It's not exactly. Is it pod racing, Seema?
Now this is pod racing. Now this is pod racing.
It is not pod racing. It is swoop
And that wasn't
racing.
me, by the way.
That was Seema. Seema did the voiceover for young Anakin. Are you an angel, Seema?
What?
Good. Are you an angel? That's another
No.
Anakin line. No, I will not. Negative.
Negative.
Do it. So this is swoop racing. We are here on Dantooine. In fact, we'll probably go to the fleet to start because that's where the breadcrumb comes from. Wow, that's a tongue twister. But they put some significant work into this. I don't know if it's everything that everyone could ever want it to be, but it's looking pretty good so far. And we'll check it out. We've checked it out a little bit. We'll walk through it. So this isn't a guide. We're just going to do sort of a general walkthrough of some of the features, what it looks like at a high level, what the achievements and the reps look like. SWTOR has a good stream that she recorded 2 hours where she actually ran all the races. So we won't go that far, but it's I guess my summary so far is it's more than I expected, but in some ways also less than maybe what the most ideal vision that I could have hoped for. But I think it's gonna work for what it is. So
Yeah, for me, it's more than I expected.
it's
I didn't expect anything really.
so you had
Okay.
your expectations appropriate then. Remember, satisfaction
guess-
is reality minus expectations. So if you keep your
Well, I
expectations
mean,
low,
I just didn't lie awake at night thinking about what I wanted swoop racing to be.
that's true. I did not either, but I know a lot of people have. So I wonder what those people think. And I think we'll be learning that as people are trying it out on the test server and posting their feedback, and then they tweak this. So I am curious, sort of what the
I think
swoop racing
people
fans would really want.
might have been expecting that it would be competitive, like that you would actually race side by side with your friends, but it's not like that. You're actually playing against yourself and trying to increase your
And you're going for a goal of doing an activity while you race and achieving that activity. So there's 3 different swoop gangs, and each of the swoop gangs has their own flavor, and they have different objectives as you race. You're not going for time. You're not racing against other people. There's no leaderboards. I think that's sort of like the downside.
I think you can be going for time.
Is there a timer?
There's a bonus timer, yeah.
Oh, okay. So
And I don't know what happens when you come in under the bonus timer.
There's a Ortolan jamming on an instrument here. Did you notice this guy?
Yes.
And there's a couple people dancing.
Right.
He is rocking. So let's go to the fleet and pick up that starter quest.
Okay.
I think it's also an event, right? So this is going to sort of show up for a week, once every 6 weeks or so, or maybe longer.
Yes, and
it's going to be a new event.
Conquest event too.
Oh, it's also that's right. I saw it here in Conquest. So in Conquest, swoop gangs have set up courses. So what are have they put in the Conquest objectives yet related to swoop racing? I don't see them in here. So maybe they haven't yet. But they named it Swoop Gang Mayhem. They named that the Conquest Week.
I mean, the weekly mission is in here, so you can do that daily on different characters.
I would imagine they would have like the daily and the weekly and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Is eventually
I can see the weekly so far, but I'm scrolling.
Okay, I am here on the fleet, and there's the kiosk where you pick up the breadcrumb for going to Dantooine is where you start, although it's on 3 planets every time it shows up, which is kind of cool. Is a brand new kind of news terminal. They look kind of cool. It's a big old block of a news terminal with the screen on each side. I don't think all the voice acting and everything is in. Let me click on it and see how much we see. I have my volume turned down a little bit too. Black screen. Oh wait, no, here's a dude. Newscaster. So no voice acting in. He says, before we sign off, news across the galaxy, plague on society known as swoop gangs are openly congregating among the general public, blah, 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 with fear seemingly innocuous appearance as a precursor to something more dire. And then I think somebody breaks into the podcast here shortly. So the lead in is, yeah, here we go. And then the news gets broken into, and then you get the sort of the advertisement for, hey, come join our swoop racing on the planet of Dantooine. So that is what we are going to get to do. So I just picked it up. Well, let me shut off these other missions because it's in my way, preparing the way. So all world's ultimate swoop rally. Investigate the swoop gangs on Dantooine. Can do. Now I'll go back to Dantooine. So it's kind of weird. You go to Dantooine, you don't travel right there. You sort of have to find your way to the racetrack, don't you?
Well, I mean, it's marked on your map, but yes, you kind of. I didn't see like a portal. I'm not a portal, but a speeder or a way to get there
Or like a
initially.
quick travel that takes you right to the start.
Yeah.
Oh, what is
Right.
that? I'm riding a big spaceship. So I got on the PTS and all my settings were reset when I got in here earlier. It was kind of disturbing to me. Was
Yeah.
disturbed.
Right.
Were you disturbed?
I don't have my normal layout either, so.
If my layout is mostly just the extended quick bars layout, and then I take 2 of the bars and I change them to 2 rows of 6, and I shrink them down a little bit next to my main bar, and that's pretty much it. So I can get to I can re-update my layout pretty quickly. I guess I changed the main window to the group window. The Cathhounds. So this is a non-pirate, and I guess it'll always be on a non-pirate incursion week.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it'd have to be on a non-Rackle week too.
Right, and a non-gray week, and a non-bounty hunter week,
Right.
because it's an event. But
Right.
because it's a non-pirate week, none of the pirates are around when you're driving around Dantooine, but the enraged Cathhounds are. So don't step on an enraged Cathhound because they bite. I did step on an enraged Cathhound earlier, and it dismounted me, and I didn't have my companion out, and I had to like punch it in the face with my bad test server gear. And now oh, you said there's a thing on my map. Oh, they're there. Hello.
Hello.
You are on the map too. I will find you. Oh, look at this. This is a good look at all the people standing up there on the viewing stand. They're all just statues. They're not moving at all, but there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's usually more people they put in one of those like crowd scenes. I like that.
In fact, when you race for the pit screamers, I think you have to flare.
You have to do tricks in front of them.
Yeah.
Pop wheelies and whatnot.
You do a little flare like you fling your body up and like you're riding momentarily with your hands on the handlebar, and then you sit back down.
So here I am at the start. Just one thing I wanted to call out. We were talking about it in the pre-show. I don't know what it is, but that barge up in the sky, that sky barge, that is a cool looking thing, and it is flying around, and I'm fascinated by it, and I want to go up there, and I want to ride around on it, and I want one of my very own. So there you go, SEMA, get me one.
You know what? When the next time they do a stronghold, it should have a a boat like this flying around slowly in the air.
Or it should be the stronghold.
Yeah.
What if the whole stronghold was a pleasure barge? Like
Yeah. You could have like in the lower level, you could have like a hot tub.
lower decks, upper deck. Yes. Yes and yes. Wow, you just invented the most awesome next stronghold that we're gonna get.
Totally, we're totally gonna get it.
Yeah, confirmed. All right, who do we got to talk to here? Zella.
Yep.
What's up, Zella? What is Zella here? She's a human. What the heck? She's not a Will Smith baby. There's a Will Smith baby dude. To, what are they called? I say that so often I forget what the
Nautilon.
Nautilon. All right, let's talk to Zella. You don't have it. I have to talk to her myself. Yay, she screamed. Wow, did you see that? This is not voiced yet. This is also, I don't know if this is going to be fully voiced. It's the black bars on the top and bottom. I'm not so fond of that, but I know it's much faster and cheaper for them to do it that way. Plus, right now when they have real big problems doing the voice acting, I could see them wanting to go this direction and limit the voice acting that they need to record. This is not my favorite way for quest givers to work though. Did you see that? Yeah, that was incredible. Always nice to meet someone who appreciates new talent. Blah blah blah. She chats to you for a little bit. She tells you,
She used to be a swoop racer. Now she's a swoop racer trainer dude. Lady.
former swoop rider, retired now. Couldn't stay away long though. She reminds me of that woman on, because she's got like the older look, retired. She the woman on Picard, the retired captain that Picard picks up off the one planet, who
Oh,
smokes
right,
weed,
yeah.
who's smoking weed all the time.
And everything else, yeah.
All the world's ultimate
Ruffy.
super rally. What?
Rafi.
Rafi, yeah. Roofy. Uh, good distractions. What we got? Biggest swoop rally. Yeah. So she basically tells you got to go. Why am I sort of stuck in a loop? Say no more. This is definitely my kind of shindig. So can I go race now? Okay. So go meet the three gangs. Oh, there's the sign you were talking about, Zima. The sign with
Yeah.
the little neon sign with the three positions on the tail of the tauntaun.
Yeah.
I think we need that for our strongholds. For our
I love
pleasure
that.
barge strongholds.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Look at it up there. It's got hollow
And what
trees
is-
on it. Okay. That's not what we're here to talk about. All right, fine. Let's go talk to the gangs. So there's three gangs, right? Tell me about the gangs, Seema.
Okay, so there's three gangs. There's the Pit Screamers,
Okay.
and they're impressed by jumps and tricks. And
Okay.
then there's the Horizon Razors. They're into speed. And then there's the Blatant Becks, and they like things loud and flashy. So, I
And
don't know if you want me to
explodey.
go. And right, and explodey. And each of them have their own rep
Right.
and
So
their
it's three
own
reps.
tokens. So it's 3 new reps, and then there's 3 different new tokens. So every time you do a race for one of them, then you get rep and tokens for that race if you complete it.
So what I hope is there's 3 reps and maybe then 3 different sets of rep related rewards for each of the.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I hope so.
Probably when you get to legendary, you can buy one of their swoop bikes. Their swoop bike models seem relatively
Doable.
yeah. No, they're reasonable. Nothing all that really super. Nothing I'm seeing here of their swoop bike models where I'm saying, oh, I gotta have that. But
the
that's
big
fine. I
thing
mean, that's the point.
that
Right?
this means is now we can get advancement reputation, that conquest thing, because we have reps we can advance.
Right. Oh, yes. So now we're gonna get conquest points for when we gain rep. All right, let's
So
talk
for each
to.
one of these groups, oh, go ahead.
No.
If you're going to talk to them,
All right, let
I was
me.
going to say for each of these. Okay.
Fine, I'll talk to him. Let me talk to Rosk, who is a Trandoshan, Pit Screamers dude. New blood. Good. Want to impress us? Show jumps, tricks, no fear of death. Blah, blah, blah. That's it. All right. Fine. Okay. That's the first one. And then you talk to Maidon Dries, who's the Horizons Racers. Maidon says, what do we have here? Hello, a visitor. Are you a fan, a friend, a competitor? Just getting
She
to know
has a voice.
everyone. She does, because they probably had stock Rhodian voicing. Is that a fact? Well, I'm thrilled you have counted us among those who wish. Maid Andress, distinct privilege of introducing you to the fastest swoop riders on the galaxy, Horizons Razor. Okay. Because she's the fastest, that's why she's the leader. Impressive. Sounds cool. I'm in. Let's do
So your
it.
theory is that they pasted all this together from words that they already had recorded.
Yeah, I don't think they've that's not new. I think that's stock. Yeah. I mean, I do think that they record, unless they've.
I mean, I think this could have been in the works for a long time, and they may have recorded it before. But
Well,
I don't
the
think
only.
they went back to the archives and did like a ransom note version where they're cutting words out of a magazine.
I don't think it's cutting words. I think they just took just like a whole recording of random Rhodian sentences, and just made her say that if it's about the same
But she's
number of.
talking about the race though, and how she's
Yeah, but do you
leader.
speak Rhodian? Do you know what? I mean, do you know what the?
Oh,
I mean,
yes,
she's
I
probably just saying
totally
like,
speak.
"Omitopi," blah, 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 blah. She's just saying Rhodian stuff.
That is an excellent point.
She's probably saying, would you like some blue milk? I can put some butter on your toast."
Right. If you know what I mean.
Everybody, Seema apparently speaks Rhodian, and she knows
Yeah.
that this actually matches the dialogue out that
No,
shows
they
up on the
have to
screen.
record it new every time.
They
Stop
call up
it.
the resident Rhodian, and they get the Rhodian down to the studio. Who's this guy?
Yes.
Bang Cap. Let's see what his voice is. See, it's the aliens, because they've just got the stock alien sounds.
Oh.
Is this a bad time? Watch your tone, buddy.
Sorry we had this conversation.
See, I could do it. Maybe I did it. Omitopi. See, there's my Rhodian. That's my hut right there. I'm introducing myself. Of course, Zilla did. Blah blah blah. I'm in. Let's blow things up. Let's go. Okay, so you talk to all three. They explain what their sort of theme is, and as you said, Seema, one is the showy show off, do tricks and stunts and fireworks. The other one is go fast, and the third is we're going to blow stuff up on the way. All right, so what's your overview on these guys?
So when I first read all that, I thought that it was just words, right? Because I thought you would still have to do, it would be the same race over and over again. But when you race for one of them, you take a different swoop bike for one thing, and then, which is neither here nor there, but what I'm leading up to is that you get different abilities on each swoop bike. So like if you're riding a race to complete a mission for the pit screamers, then your abilities allow you to do tricks.
Mm-hmm.
If you're riding for the blatant Becks, your abilities allow you to blow things up. And then if you're and the even though the race track itself is the same, there's different like what's it called when barriers and things to pick up and things to explode or things to do. So like when you're riding for the Horizon Razors, there's like speed buffs that you have to pick up.
Yeah, little power ups, little hazards
Yeah.
that are
Yes. All
specific to that
yes.
to that
And they
gang and that
all the
challenge.
versions have hazards, but they're different. Like on one of them, I think it was Horizon Razors, but I could be wrong. There's like um little sharp things when you ride over, they stop you completely.
Yeah, yeah.
And um,
So
for Blatant Becks, it was like a dust cloud that would slow you way down.
So here's the three terminals. So there's a terminal for each of the gangs. The Blatant Becks terminal, the Horizons Razors terminal. Each okay. So three gangs, three terminals, three sets of dailies for each of the three gangs, and three planets. So it's actually 9 races. So you could
And
do
there's a terminal over here too that has the weeklies.
so you could be doing nine races a day for the dailies, and then the weekly is just 6 total races, right? So let me go over here. I
Yes.
didn't pick them up
Yes.
yet, but
But each team also has a weekly,
oh, a
which is to
weekly.
do 6
So
races.
4 weeklies.
Yeah.
So three races for each of the teams is their weekly, and then the meta weekly is 6 races
Yeah.
overall.
So you could do 10 races for Blatant Becks and make the weekly. That's how I read that.
Got it.
But you wouldn't
And
make the Pit Screamers weekly or the Horizon Razors weekly, but you'd make the meta weekly.
so I don't know if the rewards are complete yet. They must not be, because the weekly for Blatant Backs, all you're getting is credits and renown. You're not getting the rep for Blatant Backs. I would expect that that's a miss. The
Yeah.
6 race weekly, you do get a purple rep token for each of the 3, but I imagine the weekly for each of the individual ones. All right, so let's pick all these up. So there, I got the. Of course, my quest log is full. Abandon. This is the exciting part of the podcast here. See, folks, this is how you abandon all the quests in your quest log. Let's all watch Max abandon quests in his quest log now, because I got to pick up like a whole bunch of other races now, or other quests. I'm gonna have to sit here and click. Oh, do you hear the thunder?
Yeah.
So it's thunder if if I disappear, if the podcast gets stopped in the middle. Maybe I should stop messing around with this and finish up our podcast before my power goes out. Okay, so there's that. Let's pick up these up here, and let's at least try one race before we close out the podcast. So did you do any of the races yet, Seema?
I did. I did the like the introductory start one for the Blatant Becks and the Pit Screamers. I think no, I did all 3. I did one race of all 3.
Okay, so I just picked up the Blatant Backs Dantooine mission, and now I can't pick up the other 2. So you can only have one of them at a time, probably because now you just go over there and only one swoop bike is lit up. And
Yeah, I noticed that too.
so here we go. Here's
But I don't know. Yeah, like when you talked to Zella originally, or all these guys originally, I told them all, sounds interesting. I'll check back with you. But if you would have taken the option, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. I don't know what it would happen. Probably you still have to go back and pick up
I
the quest for
yeah.
terminal.
I said to all of them, let's do it right now. Let's go. And
Okay.
nothing happened. So you get
Now, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say right now is when you can look at the abilities that your swoop bike has. You can't
Which
stop and look at them. You have to do what you're doing, or run into
so
something.
so let's do that, because then probably making people watching the stream dizzy. So emergency brake. All right, that's F2. Toss explosive, activate fireworks, and dismount. So F4 and F3. Can I move these around? I don't see a way to I don't see like an unlock, but my UI is all screwed up. I don't like them on the F keys, but okay, fine. So don't hit F5 because you'll dismount. Emergency brake is for slowing down for better handling. I forgot which. What am I on? Pit Screamers? I forgot what the Am I supposed to be blowing
No,
stuff
I
up?
think you're. No, yeah, I think you're on Blatant Beck. So like,
Yeah,
what
you're right. I'm on
is
the blatant backs.
third? Is it like
Blatant back.
number 3 is explode something and number 4 is launch
Yeah,
fireworks?
toss explosive versus activate fireworks. So yeah, I need to be tossing explosives. So yeah, well here, let me go ahead and run the race, and then we'll sort of summarize our thoughts.
It starts over there, Max. There you go.
Right here, right. So you come here, you sit here, and it gives you a countdown. 3, 2, 1, and then you actually go a little bit faster. And there's little bombs
Well,
on the track. Don't hit those. Oops.
and you isn't
Did I miss?
isn't number your option number 1, isn't it to go faster?
Oh, is that what that F1 is? I didn't even read it. Sorry. Ooh, look at that. I went through the... But it's hard to go fast and blow these things up. So I wasn't paying attention. Oops. I just blew the thing up. So what do I gotta blow up? 10 targets. I gotta activate fireworks in front of the
Yep.
platforms. Oh, dang it. I wasn't doing
No,
that.
no. The fireworks don't have to be in front of the. They
Oh,
just have to
just...
be where they are. Like
Oh,
right there is fireworks.
where's fireworks?
The
Oh.
fireworks are up on like a little
Oh,
table.
I see. You're right. I just saw that. I'll blow a thing up. I think I missed one of the fireworks things.
Probably. You can go back. In fact, that's a decision you have to make, right? It's like, do you go back and do that, or do you run the race over again? Because if you get to the end and you haven't
This is
done all the
35
fireworks,
seconds. Yeah, okay. And I have a 35-second countdown. And
well, you won't make. That's the bonus timer, whatever that is.
okay, so there's
And
some
if you
strategy,
get,
there's some objectives,
yeah,
there's...
and if you get to the end and you haven't hit all the objectives, then you will have failed the mission.
Okay, well, I haven't even seen where all the fireworks are, so
Right. So
I think I'm gonna, as you saying, I'm
so
gonna
the
fail.
first part of it is just learning the track and learning where all the things are. And I
Interesting.
can totally envision as you get better at it, you could start to think about doing it within the bonus time.
Okay. Okay. Well, there we go. I mean, I'm kind of lost here.
Yeah.
Going really slow
I,
too.
it is kind of confusing, and it's confusing on the other planets too. Not confusing, but since they put the track down on the actual terrain of the world, they didn't like create an instance track that's really obvious where you go. You do need to learn basically you need to learn the terrain. And if
Learn
you're
the
going to get good
terrain,
at it,
learn the track,
yeah,
learn where to hit,
learn.
where the things are to hit. So I failed because I didn't do the fireworks correctly. I hit enough I exploded enough things, but I didn't hit the fireworks. All right, so a little bit of a challenge there, a little bit of an opportunity. There's probably achievements for hitting that bonus timer. And then there's the 3 styles. There's the blow stuff up. When you do, I know when you do the go fast, there's a bunch of like power ups on the ground that speed up your speeder. And then there's the trick one. You're sort of doing tricks in front of the display stands and that kind of stuff, right?
Yep. So
So
first you have to be able to notice the stands as you go by them,
yeah,
because you're concentrating on staying on the track and finding, avoiding bombs and stuff, and then you're like, oh, those were spectators back there.
yeah, okay, okay. So that's
So
interesting. So
I envision some people are going to be good at it right away, and some
yep,
people are going to be good at it after some practice. But I think there's room for both, and it could be fun for both.
I think it's going to be fun for anyone to try. I think it's going to be for the majority of players who play a regular amount. It's going to be another event that everyone will try to get to legend rep with all 3 of the reps.
Yeah,
Do
right
do the
away, as
things.
fast as possible.
So the majority of our guild is gonna probably be going after that and trying to do that. what do you think of the longevity of the event and the repeatability once you've gotten legendary rep on all three swoop bike gangs, you've gotten the currency you want, you bought whatever you're going to buy. Do you think it's still a fun thing that you would come back and do for some reason?
No, I would not. But I I envision that they could possibly be adding all the time um new challenge races, and then
They
but if
could.
they don't, yeah, they haven't in the past done stuff like that, so I don't know. But
Right.
um, I think you're right that once people get the rep that they want and the rewards that they want, it'll be like bounty hunter.
Right. Which after I finished all of the bounty hunter objectives and achievements and everything, I haven't gone back and hunted a bounty. And
This
I've
might
almost
have a longer.
forgotten how bounty hunting works at this point.
It might have a longer life because it might take longer. I don't
Yeah.
know, but they do have an opportunity to keep it different if they want to, or keep adding to it.
Right.
Like before, we talked a little bit about Dark Moon Fair and WoW, and that's kind of an unfair comparison because Dark Moon Fair has been around for at least 10 years, and they've built a little bit on it every few years, so that now Dark Moon Fair, there's a million activities to do.
Yeah.
This could be like this over time.
Could. It could. I it
I
could.
mean, I'm not talking about them necessarily adding new different games, but they could add um, additional barriers to a race with a new achievement,
Or add a new
um, eh,
gang or add a,
or add a new gang, or add new
like a little side
things to
thing.
buy with with your tokens.
I wish they would do that with all of the existing events too.
Yeah.
Just like, even just like once a year, just add a couple new things. Then people would go back and go, oh, yeah, I remember. Oh, look,
I
all right,
mean,
let's go do it. Let's
they
let's
kind of do that with nightlife and with
yeah, you're right. They totally do it with nightlife,
yeah, and with
and and it makes us go back and, well,
Life Day.
it makes us think that we're gonna go back and play the slot
Yeah.
machines a whole bunch. It makes us mean to do it.
This summer for sure.
Yeah, and you're right with Life Day too. But why aren't they doing with that with bounty hunting? Why aren't they doing that? They could do that with the Gree. Uh, yeah,
We should have like a Zoom life nightlife party and make everybody play slot machines, like 16 screens of slot machines on this. Yeah, that's a bad idea.
the only other thing I kind of was hoping for, but I could see how it would be much 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 more complicated. Would be if there was actually racing between people. So I could,
Hmm.
we could like form a group or form an ops group, and there was actually first, second, and third, because then it could be a guild event, right?
Right. Right.
Because then we could have actual people actually racing against each other. In fact, we could have brackets, and we could
I think we can
you could
sort
take
it.
any
We can do
number.
that now. The way I mean, we've had races before. We can just do it
So
on this track.
yeah, that's true. If everybody sort of like started right here, because as soon as you get here, it starts the countdown. It's not like you press a button to start the countdown. So everybody would have to like put their swoop bikes right before the start line, and then we say go, and then everybody gets here. Everyone's countdown sort of starts at the same time then, and then we see who gets to the finish line first. Yeah, so we could sort of game it. So maybe in fact, let's do that. Do you have a bike you can get on?
Yeah, I'm
Which
getting on my
which
bike.
bike? Who is that?
Uh,
These are
Pit
the
Screamers. But it doesn't really matter, right? The
well,
Pit
but
Screamers, yeah.
are they the fast or are they the tricks?
Well, I mean, we're not. I think they're the
Because
tricks, but we aren't actually going to.
you're gonna win. I can go get the fast bike with this power with the speed up, but the power speed up.
I'm curious to see if we even see each other and
Yeah, here you are. You're
the
right. You're
same.
right here. All right, so let's start here, right
We
here on the
haven't
edge.
started
Oh,
the race yet.
I did. Oh, come up here quick. I forgot it doesn't, so I can't like pause. Oops, I'm going the wrong
Right.
way. So there, I went the wrong way. So okay, so we're sort of going together. But I'm not doing any of my objectives.
No, because then you wouldn't win the race.
But I'm gonna like lose. Where's my? Oh, there you go. Ooh, I almost hit my emergency brake. Oh, Seema's killing me here. Cause you're not doing your objectives. What the heck, man?
Why would I do the objectives?
You're like, you have a faster bike. Not fair. You are like cruising. How you do? Look at that. My bike is so slow. What the heck? Oh,
I'm
you know
doing
what
my
it?
one.
I think there are like like speed ups like when you go on the on the ramps and stuff, but the first person who goes gets it and the person who comes next does not.
Are you hitting your one key?
I am hitting my one key on cooldown.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, well then I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe I'm ahead of you just because I'm ahead. I mean, maybe there is
Maybe
an
not.
advantage to being
No,
ahead.
so now I'm like catching up to you a little bit. So maybe I wasn't
Well, I hit a
spamming
couple
my
bombs
my
too.
F1. Yeah. And since you hit the bombs, now I'm like catching up to you a little bit. So, but like here at the top of this, oh no, I did it. All right, so no, I'm just bad.
Well, I'm actually,
I got stuck. Oh, there we go.
I'm probably going to get lost because I don't know where the end of this is.
Well, I'm following you, so ooh, Oh,
Oh,
I
you
moved
got the
in.
lead.
Oh, I almost hit a bomb. Here's bonus timer failed, objectives failed, but I hit the finish line first.
Not on my screen.
What do you mean not on your screen? We have to
Just what
have
I said.
impartial judges at the
Nope, I
end.
came. Oh wow. Yeah, no, I came to the side. I cut corner.
Did you finish ahead of me on your screen?
Yeah,
Because I was like at
just
least 3
barely.
seconds ahead of you on my screen. So we are gonna have to have impartial judges on the side for the photo finish. Because yeah, I mean that's also part of the difficulty of constructing this kind of event where it might
Well,
look
you
like you
also
won, but
you also
didn't
kind of
do
have
that
to
kind of
make
thing.
it so that it doesn't really matter.
Right. Well, that's why they did it
Well, that
this
was
way. Right.
not 3 seconds, but yeah, this clearly you first. But on my screen, I edged you out.
Oh well, I clearly won on my screen.
Watch yourself.
So just so you know, not that it matters,
Max
but
is so happy.
but,
Galahad says,
but
"Yeah, he was."
not that it's an actual contest, but yeah, I won. All right.
All right.
All right. All right. Well, yes, chat room, because you were watching my screen, and on my screen I won. So that's sort of not really fair to Seema, just to be clear. All right. So there's our preview.
Max shot first.
They're going to be working on this a little bit. It's going to be on the PTS for a while. Get on there, try it out, provide your feedback. There's more development that they're working on. I can clearly see it. They're like even like the spectators here aren't animated. That's usually one of the last things that they do. But yeah, I think it's, as I said, it's less than I think what it possibly could have been, but it's more than what I expected, and it's a thing. And I think I'm glad that there's rotating events that will be coming in and out of the game that we can make use of in our free time on a periodic basis. So there we go. So I think with that, we will take our EPC 339 droid and kick it on an airlock, put it on a swoop bike to tour these planets and broadcast this podcast to all of you out there. Please keep up with us on Twitter at MaxTheGrain, at AIESEMA, and you will hear cool stuff about the things that are going on in our guild, things that are going on in the game, and a bunch of news. You can also find us on YouTube/New Overlords, Twitch.tv/New Overlords. Jump on those locations and subscribe. That way we can track who is actually watching the podcast. But what we really want you to do is check out aie-guild.org. You can find our guild information there. You can find our Discord link in the upper right corner of that AIE Guild screen. You can jump on our Discord. We have guilds on both the Republic and Imperial side of the Starforge server. We would love to have you come play with us. We've got our monthly event coming up next Friday. We've got our Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night, we have an open guild event. That's what we're here for. Do it. Do it. And with that, we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.